This is episode 6 of the Dragon Ball Insider podcast, taking place on June 26th, 2014. What's going on, guys? This is Anthony here over at Dragon Ball Insider. I'm here with my co-host, David, DBEternity. What's going on, Dave? How are you?
Well, I've been alright. I've been sick for a week, and my left ear is plugged, so I can't really hear out of it that well. But other than that, I've been good.
You have like an ear infection or something?
No, it's just plugged, and I can't unplug it. I need drops, but I don't have any, so...
Well, that definitely sucks. Yeah, it's definitely a lot nicer weather over here. It's been like mid to high 80s, finally. No snow, thank God. But other than that, here has been awesome. We got so much news to cover. We have Dragon Ball Z Kai coming back to Toonami. Battle of Gods is finally being licensed, or finally has been licensed, and is going to be dubbed in English in the States. And we just have so much to talk about, so we're going to keep this intro short and get started, so let's begin the news. Alright, so on May 24th, Funimation announced via their official Twitter page that DBZ Kai is returning to Toonami this coming fall. This means that the fans will be more exposed to uncut version of Kai, not seen in the Nicktoons or CW version. The Nicktoons and CW version were extremely heavily censored, and that gave Kai its bad reputation for being a kid show, quote-unquote. So now all the fans have a chance to give it another shot, watching it without the pesky censorship as seen on those other networks, as I previously mentioned. Now, Dragon Ball Kai made its return back on April 6, 2014, starting with episode 99, the beginning of the Majin Buu arc, and this is going on in Japan. It airs each Sunday morning at 9 a.m., and Europe was the first continent to announce its licensing, and as we just stated, the U.S. just announced that Kai is making its comeback to Toonami during the fall. The Majin Buu arc was not specified, but we do know that they are starting from the beginning, so we are going to be able to see Kai through the Cell arc, and assuming it's going to be going through the Buu arc. I mean, that's pretty much a given, considering that Kai originally was intended for international release only. It's only a matter of time.
Oh, that. Very much so. And I don't want to get too deep into this right now, but Kai is a huge mess right now.
Yeah, it's a disaster. What is there, an international and local version for Japan?
Okay, let me explain.
Go for it.
So in 2012, Toei they were working on the Buu arc for Kai. Mayumi Tanaka, the voice of Krillin, hinted that.
Yeah, I think she posted it on a forum.
Yeah, something like that. But anyway, she revealed that they were working on it, and they finished it, and they intended to release it only internationally. So, but then they decided to air it themselves on Fuji TV. For whatever reason, probably just for money. But anyway, this delayed Funimation's initial plans to release it this year. So we're not getting it this year, probably next year. But in any case, they started airing it, and we thought this was it. This is what we were gonna get with the theme songs. They're really cool and all that, but it's not. Korea started airing it, and it's very different. Essentially what happened is the Japan version of the Buu arc of Kai is a condensed version of of the first version Toei made. So you have the original international Kai and the Japan Kai. So they took the international version and cut even more from it to make their Japan-only version. Why did they do this? Well, we don't know. Nobody knows why. And even the theme songs are different. Well, I can explain why. First, Toei made the theme songs in-house with no promotional tie-in because this was intended for international release, so it wouldn't matter. They wouldn't get money from the theme songs anyway. But since they decided to air it in Japan, Columbia, the record label that works with Toei, decided to make theme songs for them. And here we have the theme songs we've listened to for weeks now. But yeah, they're different, and it's going to take some getting used to, because the international versions theme songs are way different, and I vastly prefer the Japanese versions, but it is what it is, and that's what we're gonna get.
Yeah, that and
Korea confirmed all of this, and it's called The Final Chapters, just like Toei in Europe announced. Mm-hmm. So I'm almost 100% certain that this is the version America will also get, and not the version Japan is airing right now. That's exclusive to them.
Yeah, and that in all likelihood, that probably means we're going to be having some more filler content.
Oh, yes. I was reading Kanzenshu's forums today, and apparently there's a ton of filler left in from Saiyaman. Apparently the Gohan's first date was left out, but that's pretty much it. Everything else is still there.
Well, hopefully the editing is done a little bit better with the help of filler, because that actually might be benefit, because like we were discussing, I think in our last podcast or a couple before, that the editing is pretty terrible. It's very jumpy, but I mean, aside from that, it's okay.
Better.
Yeah, it's gotten better. It's just, I mean, not many new animations. I don't know if I saw any. I don't know about you, but
no, there are no new animations, just the same.
The green tint.
The green tint's gone.
Yeah, it's still pretty bad. I was watching it the other day, and I was trying to compare, and I think I was listening to Kanzenshu's, one of their podcasts, and they said that the only animation that they found is, I guess they reanimated Kibito's mouth before he was blasted by Dabura, but I guess that's so minuscule that doesn't even make a difference. But in any case, Kai's coming back to Toonami, and it should be good, and we both encourage everyone to give it a shot, because it's really not as bad as people make it out to be. And I sound redundant because we've said this so many times before, but it's not the little kids show that everyone makes it out to be. There's the same amount of violence, the same amount of fighting, everything like that. It's just a refreshed version. It brought Dragon Ball Z to the digital age, and not only that, it's more true to the manga than Dragon Ball Z, the English dub, originally was. And the United States and any of the English-speaking countries really needed this dub, just because it really shows what Toriyama intended, as opposed to what Funimation used to target their audiences by making Goku out to be the hero and all that. So I recommend it, and I'm assuming you do as well.
Yeah, I've always hated the original Funimation dub. I've always hated the Ocean dub. I've always hated the Blue Water dub, the Westwood dub, whatever you want to call it. I never liked Dragon Ball Z in English until Kai, because it's just so close to the Japanese version, and it's so accurate, and the voice acting is amazing, and the script is amazing, and yeah, that's really it.
Yep, so Kai's coming back, and we will definitely inform you on that once we do know more when exactly it's going to happen. But in any event, there's a new Dragon Ball game coming.
Alright, well, if you haven't heard already, this July issue of View Jump hit shelves on May 21st in Japan, and announced a new Dragon Ball game for the PS4, PS3, Xbox One, and Xbox 360. Originally, it was referred to Dragon Ball New Project, but now the official name for the game is Dragon Ball XENOVERSE. Bandai Namco revealed the trailer for it at E3, and it was dubbed by Chris Sabat, so it's pretty much confirmed for an American release. And he and in the trailer, this description described the game as the Dragon Ball universe is coming to the new gen systems and will fully benefit from the most powerful consoles ever created. Dragon Ball XENOVERSE will bring all the frenzied battles between Goku and his fiercest enemies such as Vegeta, Frieza, Cell, and much more with new gameplay design. Coming along with this amazing feature, a new world setup, a mysterious city, and many other amazing features to be announced over the next few months. But a question remains, and an unknown fighter appears. Who is he? And in the trailer, the unknown fighter has red hair. He has a Scouter Capsule Corp jacket. We know nothing about him other than he's buddies with Time Patrol Trunks from Dragon Ball Online. So he's definitely has something to do with time traveling. And apparently, I think I read that that this character can be used to directly interfere with the main story, and you can use him to guide the story along, and his decisions or something make the story go in whichever direction you're aiming for. But I'm not sure.
Sounds like some Final Destination shit. But
yeah, well, what we do know is that it's developed by Dimps, who also made the Budokai series. So that should be good news for fans of that series.
yeah, not to be mistaken with the Budokai Tenkaichi series.
No, that was developed by Spike. It's coming on next gen consoles, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, both of which I don't have, so I'm going to settle for the previous gen ones. Hopefully the difference isn't all that grand. In-game transformations that were cut from Battle of Z are confirmed, so that's coming back. Original battles, I'm guessing this just means the main story. Fast-paced fighting game, so it's not like Ultimate Tenkaichi where it's the rock, paper, scissors mechanic. New world setup, a clock that once it's stopped will start to tick again in an enigmatic and futuristic city. So I'm guessing this is maybe it's a new mode or something. Not much has been revealed on this at all.
It probably has something to do with this mystery character.
Yeah, I would assume so. And finally, Dragon Ball Xenoverse will be coming to North America, Europe, the Middle East, Africa, and Australia. Now, what are your thoughts on this?
I think it's going to be another fighting game, just like the Budokai series. But it's an encouraging thing to see that they're going another direction with it in terms of this new mystery character. Because if he can change the way things are going in the game, you'll probably have original battles, meaning different types of battles that they've never had, assuming on how you take the fact that it's going to be original battles, because it could be originally from the storyline or brand new, original, never before happened battles. This character really resembles the character, I think his name was Bandai or Bandai. I think he appeared in 2011 in, I forget which game it was, but yeah.
What?
Yeah, his name was Bandai. In it was like a creation character. From what
Oh, so it was an Ultimate Tenkaichi?
Yeah,
because that's
Ultimate
the only
Tenkaichi.
game that had.
Yep, that character who appeared was Bandai. So it looks a lot like him. There's a lot of pictures. The only big difference is that he has a Scouter and a cape. But other than that, it looks just like him. So a lot of people are assuming that it's that character making his return. But I'm not quite sure that in Ultimate Tenkaichi he had these abilities to warp time. But it's definitely cool to see something new in addition to this same old fighting game that we've had all these years. It's almost helpless to come up with the original Dragon Ball game these days.
They just need to make an RPG,
which would be great, but they're not going that direction, and they haven't. And I mean, they did a while back, if I'm not mistaken.
They did it on DS and it worked really well and it was really good. But
yeah. Other than that, I mean, I'm not really a big gamer, so I can't really say I'm looking forward to it. But we're definitely going to be covering it as more news becomes available.
I'll probably not skip this one though.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds a bit different
Hmm.
than the other ones, and I'm actually really curious about this new character and how he's gonna do. And well, yeah, I skipped Battle of Z because I just didn't care.
Right.
But this new character is kind of what's making me lean towards actually getting it to see what the hype is all about him.
Yeah. I actually have some new news regarding this. This game was actually recently listed for pre-order for both North America and the UK. And they have a release date of 12/31/15, but that's just a placement holder. And I was actually told by our buddy Rhyme Style that when there isn't a definitive release date, companies always set it to 12/31/2015 or X. X would represent the year. So we could at least assume this game will be released in sometime in 2015. And MSRP for the games are $49.99 for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, and $59.99 for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And they could actually all be pre-ordered via our site. We have links up and everything. Other than that, we have some really, really, really great news. Funimation finally announced that Battle of Gods is going to have a theatrical run.
Long ago, a small group of pure-hearted Saiyans pooled their powers to create a savior, a Super Saiyan God.
Lord Beerus, it's time. Time to wake up.
Damn it! I am a Saiyan that was raised on planet Earth. I will defeat you! So tell me, how does it feel becoming a god?
Yeah, so recently, Funimation announced that Battle of Gods will be coming to North America this August for a limited theatrical event for the dates of August 5th, 6th, 7th, and 9th. And yes, it will be dubbed. They released a press release stating, "Stunning animation and epic new villains highlight the new Dragon Ball Z feature film in 17 years. Beerus, the god of destruction, travels to Earth in search of a good fight. Only Goku's humanity's greatest hero can ascend to the level of Super Saiyan God and stop Beerus' rampage. We're very excited to bring Battle of Gods to the theaters across the country this summer," says Gen Fukunaga, CEO, President of Funimation Entertainment. "Dragon Ball Z has always been a huge part of everything we do at Funimation, and speaking as a fan myself, I can't wait to watch it on the big screen. Funimation Entertainment will be partnering with Screen Vision, a leader in cinema advertising and alternative content, to bring Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods to over 350 screens across the United States and Canada."
I find it.
Go ahead.
I find it interesting how he said that.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z has always been a huge part of everything too, because Dragon Ball was the reason Funimation was made.
Yep.
So
I guess it makes sense either way. But as of now, no ticket information was given, but on their website, there's a sign-up form that you could sign up to be notified for when more information becomes available. And like I said, Battle of Gods is going to be screened in over 350 theaters across the United States and Canada. Now,
and don't you have confirmation on a few territories?
Yes, in my area, but here in New Jersey, I was actually looking on some websites and I was searching for Battle of Gods, websites that sell tickets specifically. And I know for sure that since I live in the New York, New Jersey tri-state area, Allentown, Pennsylvania, which is about 35-40 minutes from me, is going to be screening this. And it's showing it's 85 minutes long, which implies that it's not the extended cut, even though we have confirmation from Schemmel that he has been recording both versions. I actually spoke with him on Twitter, and all of a sudden he deleted his tweets after I reported on it. So, again, I'm sure management, probably Chris Sabat, was getting on him about having him delete his stuff, but I'm going to go out and say, yeah, there's definitely going to be an extended cut, and it's probably going to be on the DVD they release. Other than that, We have some really awesome news regarding Battle of Gods coming to LA before it is released here throughout the states. So why don't you take care of that?
All right, well, 2 weeks after announcing that Battle of Gods will be coming to the US and Canada, Funimation announced that during Anime Expo weekend, which is July 3 through 6, that they will hold a red carpet premiere of Battle of Gods. The feature will contain appearances from Funimation voice actors such as Sean Schemmel, Chris Sabat, etc., and it will be dubbed in English. It will be. I'm not sure whether this screening specifically will be the extended cut or not, but I'll be reporting on it, and I'll get to that in a bit. But anyway. It will be screening at the Regal LA Live Stadium 14 theaters in Los Angeles on Thursday, July 2014. The red carpet will be at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, followed by the screening at 9 p.m. This event is not meant for the public. This was meant for media and press. So you had to ask for invitations directly to Funimation, to Scott Lonsky. And I did so the first day this was announced, and we got in. So we will be attending the event. I will be attending. Anthony is in New Jersey, as he stated before, so he can't make it. But I was able to secure 4 spots, including me. So we have a group of 4 people, and we're all going to be representing Dragon Ball Insider, regardless of them not having anything to do with it. Just consider them my guests. But in any case, we'll be wearing shirts, and if anyone was actually accepted, I know one person I talked to was accepted for it, regardless of not being media or press. He was accepted. But if you were lucky enough to actually score and get into the event, then it'd be great for you to say hi. But I'm not expecting much, considering I'm guessing most people there will be, probably not major news sources like Fox or ABC or whatever, but definitely people from, I guess, movie sites. And I don't know if Kanzenshi is going to have representatives there, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did, because they're the biggest Dragon Ball site out there. So I'm guessing if anyone mentioned representing them, then they would definitely get in. But our site was good enough to get in, so that's good.
Yeah.
So that's next Thursday.
And your shirts just came in today, which is awesome.
Yeah, my shirts came in, and they're great. Who made them?
It was actually Vistaprint.
Vistaprint. Okay, well, they're great.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was actually really surprised. But go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, the price for them was pretty big, but the quality was really good, and it was pretty worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
In my opinion. So that's gonna be great, and I feel pretty lucky that I get to go to this thing, but I don't know if I should even go to an August showing now, but I might still, just to take people who weren't able to go to this thing. I might,
yeah,
because it's always a good time, and watching a Dragon Ball movie in theaters is like nothing we've ever seen before, except for like conventions and stuff that would show them. But this is going to be in actual theaters, not your local AMC or Edwards or anything, but it's still cinema. So that's definitely a step up. Funimation has come such a long way. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that's really all I have to say about that.
Yeah, I was just about to say, for those that are listening, typically Dave isn't really one to be a fan of any sort of English dub Funimation does involving Dragon Ball Z, but until Kai came, his feelings sort of changed because of the improvement they made. So he's actually more excited about this film being dubbed in English than I even expected.
Well, yeah, they're great now. I mean, I saw the movie twice. First time when it came out on DVD in Japan, and second time the extended cut. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about it. The trailer was really good. But the thing that worries me is that 18's old voice is back.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
I was actually going to get just into that. Well, I'll explain all that. Funimation announced the voice cast for the movie, and a lot of the cast is returning from the original Dragon Ball Z dub. For starters, like you were just saying, Android 18, originally when it was airing back on Toonami in 1999, Meredith McCoy had the role of Android 18. And then Kai came around, in which Colleen Cleekenbeard took over that role. And now Meredith McCoy has been recast for this movie. In addition, Kyle Hebert is once again the narrator after losing his role in Kai. And it looks like Funimation is actually going with the correct name of Mr. Satan as opposed to Hercule, but we don't know whether or not they're actually going to say that in the film. But his name isn't Hercule. That's all you need to know. That was a Funimation name. But it's really interesting to see that all of these characters, or all these voice actors, are coming back. And I also saw that the logo for the film, they removed Kami to Kami. So
yeah,
they changed the logo.
Do that.
Apparently they do that a lot, which
I don't know. I don't know if they changed it or Toei changed it. Because, Dragon Ball Z Kai as opposed to just Dragon Ball Kai, that change wasn't Funimation. That was Toei that put the Z there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was them or Funimation that did it, but I wouldn't be. I don't think Funimation did it themselves, because maybe they did, because the Latin American version of it, they also took out Kami to Kami.
Yeah.
And replaced it with their version of the title.
Yeah.
So.
Now, what are your feelings on the return of these voice actors?
Okay, well, Hebert is a great actor. He was Kamina in Gurren Lagann, amazing show. He's Kiba in Naruto. He's a lot. He's in a lot of stuff that I've seen, and his voice is always great to hear. I just didn't like him as a narrator because his lines were so inaccurate from the original. It's not his fault, but
he was just doing what
the lines
he was told.
were just really inaccurate. So I mean he was okay as a narrator, but the eccentricity of it was all meh to me. But I'm guessing for fan demand, he's gonna do that kind of voice for the narrator still. But that's fine.
Yeah, well,
I don't really care.
At least it's only a small portion of the movie.
Yeah,
probably like 35,
in fact,
40 seconds or so.
It's both the beginning. Well, the extended cut. It's the very beginning with the flashbacks.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember if the end had the narrator speaking. I don't remember, but him has narrator is kind of small. His main role in that movie is Gohan. Well, now for McCoy, I really am iffy about her because, firstly, again, it's probably not her fault. Funimation directed her to voice the character with no emotion whatsoever.
Yeah.
because, well, she's a robot, she's an android, but that's not really the case. Krillin in the Boo saga mentioned that she's still largely human, just some parts of her body were remodified. So she's pretty much a human with some remade body parts, so she's not really a robot.
Yeah, hence the
That
child.
being said, she shouldn't have a robotic voice. Her voice was just so lifeless in the Z dub, as opposed to the Japanese version, where it's full of emotion.
Yeah.
And Kai got it right. Colleen was great as 18. I know that fans don't like her. I don't know why. She's much better. From what I've seen of McCoy, that's the only role I know she has. And just based on that, Colleen's way better actor. But I don't know about McCoy now and how they're going to make her do the voice. I'm hoping it's going to be a different take on it. Because, well, it sucked back then. And I don't want this dub to suck.
Well, what's weird is that McCoy's doing 18 and Clickenbeard is doing Mai, so it's not like they totally disregarded her. And I was looking at her Twitter page earlier today, and someone asked her if she was making her return as 18, and she was like, no, McCoy has reprised her role. So obviously there's no hard feelings there. There's got to be a reason behind it, and I'm definitely assuming that it's because no one wants to go see a movie knowing that their old original Dragon Ball Z characters aren't going to be in there.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, what else could it be? A lot of the fan base is extremely nostalgic, and they refuse to like anything that doesn't sound like what they're used to.
Well, I'd say that they recast her as 18 because Mai is already being voiced by Colleen, and they don't want to, have two extremely similar voices like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. As long as she pulls off the Japanese vibe, then I'm fine. Well, but I'm actually really, really iffy on it though, because Funimation dubbed Attack on Titan, and that dub is absolutely atrocious.
You don't like it, really?
So, yeah, it's really bad. Like, I can't watch it.
Huh.
It's accurate, but the voices are just really out of place.
I need to listen to it. I haven't seen it yet.
It's really bad. I don't like it in English. And that was Funimation, so that was really surprising that they actually would make a bad dub nowadays.
Yeah.
But now I'm hoping that they did really well in this movie.
I mean, they did a really good
did.
job showing all the really epic scenes in their trailer. That trailer did a really good job of representing the film and its really, I guess, exciting parts, you could say. Because a lot of that movie is downtime, because it's a typical Toriyama theatrical movie, so...
Yep, and they really pulled off the trailer really well. It got me hyped for that.
Yeah, and lucky you get to go see it live. And...
Yeah, I get to go see it a month before everyone else does.
Yep, yes you do. Do you have anything else to add?
No, that I've pretty much said everything that I'm feeling right now.
Well, that's about all the news we really have. Other than that, we really still need to get to the question and answer segment that we've been promising you guys. I'm just not going to promise anything ever again, but it's going to it's going to come. We're going to have a Q&A specifically one day, and we're also going to be discussing probably the ending of Dragon Ball GT, which is going to be awesome. And we're going to have some special guests come on. I was actually speaking to Atara Colis this morning, and she was saying how she really wants to come on board. If you don't know who she is, she's one of the female cosplayers who's pretty known around, I guess, the internet fandom. And we're going to be just discussing how we got into Dragon Ball, give each of our perspectives, and basically just break down what really got us into the franchise and why we still enjoy it and talk about it today after it's been around for so many years, and everything is still, a lot of new things are coming around. Games, obviously the movie. I'm assuming there's going to be another special soon, probably because it's Dragon Ball and Naruto's anniversary coming up pretty soon. I think it's like the 15 and 30 year or so. So it's just crazy, and we're going to talk about that, and we're going to have a good time. We really enjoy doing these podcasts, and we want to do them more frequently, but our schedules are extremely conflicting considering we're on two opposite sides of the states. So it's definitely, we're going to try and pick it up, hopefully get to a weekly podcast eventually. But other than that, we had some really great news with the Battle of Gods being licensed by Funimation. Finally, it's coming to theaters in August, and the new Dragon Ball XENOVERSE game, which is allegedly going to be around in 2015, and of course the return of Dragon Ball Z Kai on Toonami, in which it's going to be completely non-censored, and it's going to be as epic as the original Z dub was, but with more accuracy and more actually bad language also. But in any case, do you have anything else to add, Dave?
Well, it looks like we have a lot of plans for this podcast. A lot of plans for this, but no. I definitely want to do all that stuff we said, the Q&A, the Atara thing, and all that stuff. But but like you said, the time is the only issue. But we'll get to that, I hope. And that's really it, really. You basically said everything that I felt, so.
I just want to let everyone know that if you don't know, we're really trying extremely hard to get our forum active. Most of our followers are on Instagram. Our website gets a real lot of traffic. We have a Facebook, Twitter, etc. But we have our website with a forum. And the forum is probably the best way to communicate with all of us at once. It's really easy to interact with each other, interact with us. It's really hard to just answer one single person or many people on Instagram because you have to go through the hassle of tagging everyone, and basically it's just a pain in the ass, to say the least. Our forum is just dragonballinsider.com/forum. You could literally just go on, create a username. I think we only have like 90 members, and I really want to expand that community. It'll be definitely great, and we could all interact with one another, and it'd be so much easier just to discuss things. And basically, I just can't stress enough how easy it will be just to interact with everyone, as opposed to just trying to comment everyone back on Instagram or Twitter. But a forum is great.
Yeah. If only people went on it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it has a lot of potential, though.
Absolutely. But this is going to conclude our podcast. Dave, other than our forum, which everyone should be joining, where could they find us?
Well, as you said before, you can clearly find us on Instagram, but we have other social networks. We can find us on Twitter, on Google+, on Tumblr, on Reddit. I think that's it. And you can also find us on our website. That's DragonBallInsider.com. DragonBallInsider.com.
Also, just so everyone knows, our last podcast, we had over 5,000 listeners and downloads, which is awesome. We jumped up literally from about 500 to 5,000 listeners. So we'd like to thank everyone for staying up to date and following our podcast, because as hard as it is to get it done weekly, we really do the best job we can in giving you the greatest content and giving you the best content you guys can hear. So that's all from me, Dave. I will talk to you soon, and that's about it.
Yep.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening, and hope you have a great day.
See ya. Oh shit. Stupid dogs. He'll shut up eventually.